Right, guys, I guess we're live. Yep, welcome back to just another session of Ask Me Anything Sunday. Basically, what I do here is I actually answer your questions. So all you need to do is actually very simple. Just go over to my YouTube channel, and if you have any questions, first thing first, I would recommend that you search for all the videos. I think about 800 over videos, plus minus. So over the past 2 years, I've answered a lot of questions regarding Facebook advertising and digital marketing. So if you have any questions, first thing first, try to search for an answer that I probably did before. Like you probably can get some answers right away from there. But if you can't find your answer, you can actually post your questions in any of the videos that I actually posted on YouTube. Okay, so actually it's very straightforward. Just post your video on YouTube, any of the YouTube channels, and I'll pick them up and I'll answer them over here. Okay, so yeah, been doing this for 80 over weeks now, and basically that's what I do. It's kind of like what I like to do already. Okay, so let's see. Now today I have a very kind of like I want to answer a few questions that I actually received. What's up, GY? Okay, now thanks for joining me. And right, okay, what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how to start Facebook advertising right in 2022, because recently I received a lot of questions, not really from on my YouTube videos. I mean, what I say is, if you have any questions, post it on my YouTube videos. But there are some people who still like to either you DM me on IG, which I rarely look at it, to be frank. And if I ever look at it, also I usually, most of the time, I will never answer you. Why? Because, like I said, the reason why I do AMA here is because a lot of questions are not, are not that easily to be. I mean, we can't really communicate that well via text. So that's why I prefer to do a live session like this to answer your questions. And a lot of questions are slightly more complicated. Like, one of the most commonly asked questions is like, what am I supposed to do now? My ad account is banned. My this issue and that issue. Like how do I really do Facebook ads right in 2022 right now? So I want to quickly address that question. And of course, I have prepared, like kind of like I have two topics that I want to talk about, which is fundamentally about starting Facebook advertising. Although, like recently, we actually kind of read, like some news about this kind of like the first time Facebook reported a like a revenue or profit loss. I mean, drop or revenue or profit drop. In the past many years, since many years, this is the first time they have a quarterly revenue drop. So that actually signifies kind of like one of a very important sign to kind of like for us to take notice, where Facebook and Instagram are no longer ruling or dominating the digital advertising market right now. I mean, previously we know that it's Facebook, I mean, together with Instagram, and Google together with YouTube, and of course in some like US markets and all that, we have Snap and a few other so-called minor platforms that is really taking kind of like dominating the market and when it comes to digital advertising. But now we have new contender. TikTok is really rocking the boat right now, and like recently, Facebook did a lot of changes trying to be another TikTok, which is a very interesting thing that that I see that they are doing right now, which I actually disagree. But in a way, I think the platform fragmentation is really happening right now, as in like people are actually going to places where they like to be. Uh, so all these platforms is gonna come, and basically they are going to take away um, the market share, uh, Facebook's market share, because to be frank, attention is really a zero sum competition. When I spend 10 minutes more on TikTok, that means I have 10 less minutes to spend on Facebook or Instagram. So the competition for the audience attention is really the center of battle, and like whatever, in the next few years to come, this is actually the main thing that all these platforms are paying. And as Facebook advertisers, or rather digital advertisers, it's actually very important for us to really understand our strategy. But even though that is really happening, I would say Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising is still one of the best platform to advertise. One of the reason is because first thing first, audiences here are very matured, as in not matured in terms of age. I mean, of course, age is part of it, but I think Facebook audiences or Instagram audiences are very well educated towards advertisements. So the way they consume content is also very much shaped into the way where they are more likely to consume ads in a more open way, and they are more likely to take action on the advertisements, like buying and discovering products, and maybe getting connected with some services, or even like real estate, financial services, and all that, which is lead generation technically, has been around for many years. So the audience, like Facebook audience or Instagram audience, are very open to this kind of action. So if you are a business that is trying to push the product into a market that is ready to buy, I would say you definitely still can't rule out Facebook and Instagram combined. But of course, if your product are mainly targeting those younger generations, then maybe you have to go TikTok or any other platforms that might be more suitable for your audience, and YouTube, yeah, and Instagram. But still, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So in a way, you still can't run away from Facebook advertising, or rather Meta advertising right now. So we just want to quickly go over a few things that you want to pay attention to when you are starting advertising on Facebook. So first topic, I really want to quickly jump right in, is how to start Facebook advertising right in 2022. I think there are a few pointers that I want to share with you. First thing first is really, if you want to start advertising on Facebook right now, please do not start with a personal profile ad account anymore. Like if you are running ads on Facebook, I mean, you definitely want to build a relationship with Facebook and tell Facebook that, hey, you're a business entity and you mean business, and you definitely want to go on Business Manager. So all you need to do is just go to business.facebook.com, and eventually you now probably will start with the business suite. And then after that, in the more settings part, you'll be able to set up a business manager. But if you go directly to business.facebook.com/overview, if I'm not mistaken, that it will actually force you to open a business manager. Now, business manager is like a container where within it's like a business entity, whereby inside there you can actually have multiple, let's say, Facebook pages, multiple ad account, and you can actually add multiple people in as your member, and you can actually assign pages or ad account individually to each and every one of them. And of course, the other thing is you are able to work with external parties as partners, which is very important, because like I do not. If you tell me that you are still actually sharing an account with your, let's say, agency, and you give them the login and all this kind of thing, or you add them into your business, or not business manager, your ad account or your Facebook page, and to let them manage or something like that, it's actually quite unbelievable, because now we have been using business manager for a long time, and it's actually best to do business manager because everything you do over there is actually very clean cut. Let's say if you work with an agency and you don't want to work with them anymore, you just need to remove them from your partner list, and they lost access to all your assets. So that's how I think you should start. Basically, it's very important because we don't want to get complicated. We don't want to get into complicated and sticky situation anymore. So start with business manager is also very important, because the moment you start a business manager, you can submit your business account, like your business certificate to actually verify a business if you want to. But essentially, you're telling Facebook that you're a business entity, and whenever there's anything happens, right, it's a lot easier in a way for you to get support from Facebook, because in Business Manager, it's more visible. I mean, there is a very clear, I mean, very important section where you can actually try to get help, and part of it is to actually start talking to Facebook representative right away. So this is kind of a way that you want to get support from them, right? So starting right is actually very important. I always say, a lot of people just come in, and because you have an ad, you have a profile, you start running ads, and eventually you will get into some ban issues and all that, and you don't know what to do, right? But start with a business manager is always a good place to start. Okay, and Shiwai is still here to stay, although fragmentation is really happening right now. Oh, I think that's about the Facebook topic. Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah, so that's the first thing I would say. Start with Business Manager. Okay, start with Business Manager is very important. Just go to business.facebook.com, and start a Business Manager. Everything will, I mean, build everything fundamentally right. I think that's the first thing. And second thing is, I mean, up to now, when you're running ads on Facebook, please do not only use boost posts. Okay, you don't want to come into Facebook advertising and still doing boost posts. First thing first, I'm not saying boost posts is useless, but there are a lot more objectives available. Now, we used to have 11 objectives. Now, because of the ODEX, what outcome driven ads experience, okay, they group it into 6 categories, where It allows you to really define what you want to achieve. Like, let's say if you want to go for sales, there are certain objectives available under sales. If you want to go for leads, there are certain objectives under leads. So it's really important for you to understand what you really want to achieve when it comes to Facebook advertising, right? I would say, if you want to start it right, the first thing first I would say is definitely you have to start with really the end in mind. Like, if you want to get purchased, then be very clear that what you want is really purchase. But in order to get purchased, what would get you the so-called, what are the actions that will lead to purchase? So you need to be very, very clear. Like, for example, if you really want purchase and you run engagement, which is you boost a post, then I would say almost 99%, I would say the campaign is not gonna really work well. Why? Because the moment you actually use a boost post or engagement and objective, then you are running ads to target people who are likely to engage. And people who are likely to engage are not likely to go over to your website and purchase on your website if you want to really get website purchase. So that's something that you have to be very clear right now, please. Okay, Facebook advertising has been around for a long time. Please do not go back to the same so-called mistake anymore. You gotta really understand Facebook ads objective. So if you want to really understand Facebook ads objective, I actually published a free training, okay, which I did it with my Jason Nation members. Just go over to my YouTube channel and look for Facebook Odex. Okay, Facebook Odex is a 1.5 hour training that I did with my like Jason Nation members. And in there, I actually walk you through the meaning behind each and every one of the objectives and how do you choose the right objective. And of course, with some detailed walkthrough about how do you navigate the Facebook ads Odex. That's something that I really believe you have to really look into. All right, but if you're watching the replay, I'll put the link in the description already. Look for it. So yeah, understanding objective well is really, really important because you don't want to start wrong. That's it. The topic is how to start Facebook advertising right in 2022, right? So other than objective, I mean, other than the business manager, the next one is really you have to understand your objective, and everything follows. Of course, they are equally important, like your audience targeting and your creative. But if you start with the wrong objective, everything is gonna fall apart. Okay, that's what I want to say. And and the third thing is, I would say a lot of people will ask me, Jason, how do I start? What is the right budget to start? In my opinion, just start. Go for the right objective, and then go with a budget that you feel comfortable. Like, a lot of people ask me, what is the best budget to start? I would say the budget that you are comfortable with. All right. No, it's not carved on the stone that you have to start with $100. No. Okay. And it's not carved on the stone that you can't start with $1. In fact, the minimum to start running ads on Facebook is $1. Okay. If you're comfortable with that first, then go in, or $5, it's fine. Why? Because you just need to go in, start running ads, get a hang of it, let the metrics coming in and let the numbers coming in. You have to get all these numbers in, then only you are able to analyze whether are you doing it right or wrong. Because without having the numbers, it's very difficult to know whether you are doing it right or wrong. And it's also very important for you to start practicing with a lower budget that you're more comfortable with. If I tell you to start with $100, then you probably will feel a lot of kind of like pressure on that. But start with one. I mean, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Nobody's going to laugh at you. Facebook is not going to laugh at you. So start with one and go in and really practice Facebook advertising. I think that's really the most important third point that I want to share with you. And the fourth one, which is the most important one, is when you run ads on Facebook, if you're new, be ready to be banned or restricted or whatever reason. Be ready to face your ad account being banned or being restricted, or your personal profile being banned or being restricted, because that's a very natural thing that Facebook is probably going to do on every one of the advertisers around, because all of us who advertise on Facebook have gone through it. Some of them even went through it multiple times. Why? Because what Facebook is trying to do here is, first thing first, for advertisers, they want to make sure that you're a real human. So they want you to validate your identity. So if you run ads on Facebook, if you have your account banned and all that, go into it. I have another video talking about how do you actually walk, kind of like, what do we call that? What should you do if you have your account banned? How to actually go through the identity verification. So I have another video which you can actually go find on my YouTube channel, or I would actually put it in the description later. So first thing first, if you get banned, right, one of the most probable reason is they want you to validate your identity, which you just need to submit your IC or ID or your passport or your driving license. And once it gets verified, and after that, then you will actually request for review to get your ad account unban or to lift the ban on your ad account or lift the restrictions on your ad account, and everything should come back to normal. Sometimes this process can take weeks. Sometimes this process can be very fast. I mean, you just have to be patient. And one thing good is if you start with business manager, then you can always start talking to them and message them and ask them about the progress and to follow up with them and all these kind of things. So be ready. You know, this is definitely going to happen. This is definitely going to happen because you can't run away from this anymore. Okay, and somebody would say that I'm right. Ad account is damn sensitive. It's a fresh account. It's been a while. You know, yes. I mean, especially if you're new. That's why if you're really starting new, then that's really something that you can't run away. It usually would happen. So you just have to deal with it. You just have to be cool with it. You know, don't panic and do everything. You know, whatever they want you to do. Okay, so that's the fourth point. And I wanted to say this, but then Chiwai brought it up as the fifth point. Thanks, Chiwai, which is very important. Read up the policy, which sometimes can be a bit crazy, the slightest harmless thing within your ad. I mean, totally agree. You have to go to Facebook ads, Facebook advertising policy or promotion policy. Just Google Facebook ads policy. There will be a list, a long, damn long list. Read through them. Okay. My advice is very simple. Don't do anything Facebook do not allow you to do. Don't run ads on any product that Facebook do not allow you to run ads on. And even if it's a gray area, then you have to understand you're playing a gray area game. So when they ban you, then you don't go and cry, okay? Because it's not allowed, and you still run ads for it. Then I mean, you know the consequences, right? Like a lot of people will come back and ask me, Jason, I run a online gaming ad. You know, like, can you actually help me bypass all these things? There is no way to bypass. You're running, actually, come on, man, you're playing on other people's stuff. This is their place. Facebook and Instagram belongs to Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to be there, you have to play by the rules, isn't it? So you just have to make sure that your product is suitable for Facebook ads. If it's not, then well, maybe if you really still want to do it, of course you can. You can. You know, there are a lot of people who are still running ads for gaming, for a lot of like all this kind of stuff. But you have to understand the consequences. All right, you'll get disabled, you'll get banned, your ad will get disapproved. All these things are very normal to you. You just have to deal with it. All right. So that's what I think you should be doing in terms of starting Facebook advertising right in 2022. It's very important because I do believe that this is something that especially new Facebook advertisers would really need some help with. Okay, but if you really want to like look for any help, I have got online courses available. I put in the description later on. You guys can actually go over and take a look at it. And yeah, that's what I think you should actually understand or look into when you're starting Facebook advertising. So this is really a very important video that I wanted to do and wanted to share with you about all these important things. So yep, all the best with your Facebook advertising journey. Now I want to actually come back to my questions, some of the questions that I received from my audiences. Hang on, just want to take this down. All right, so okay, just a quick shout out. All right, any one of you wants to get your Facebook ads campaign audited? If you run ads on Facebook, right? You see, running ads on Facebook is the easiest part, right? Because although we went through like what are the few things you have to do to get it right. In fact, with an ad account, anybody can start running ads. You just need to park your credit card and poof, everything can be up. But running ads is the first thing. Knowing whether you are doing it right or wrong is the second thing. Because analyzing the numbers is really one of the biggest challenge a lot of Facebook advertisers are facing based on my experience. So actually, I'm offering this one-on-one Facebook ads audit where we will dive into your Facebook ad campaign, look at your performance and the results, and I will dissect for you. I will analyze, and I will tell you what have you done right or wrong, and how can you take it to the next level. How can you do better and improve the performance of your Facebook ads campaign? So currently, I'm still doing this because what I'm actually doing here is I'm building my Fiverr account. Okay, so my Fiverr account is a brand new one, and in order to get like level up, all right. So basically, I need to kind of like get I think 10 orders. I'm now at 8, 2 more orders to go, and to achieve like $400 in revenue. So these are all the milestones that I need to actually achieve on Fiverr in order to level up. So in order to do that, I'm actually offering my one-on-one Facebook ads audit at $10. Okay, instead of 197, which I usually charge, people to audit their Facebook ads campaign, you can actually now just pay me a $10. I mean, consider buying me a coffee. If you enjoy what I do, for the past few years, buy me a coffee and let's go over your campaign, right? Let's audit your campaign. Let's see what have you done right or wrong, and eventually what can you do to do better. Okay, so this is just scan the QR code, and yeah, it will lead you to Fiverr and just sign up, and we will actually check. We will schedule a call to check on your campaign. So that's what we can do together. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. Bob say more band than K-pop. You mean what? Facebook ads more band than K-pop? I don't know what band is K-pop. Yeah, I mean it's very normal. Getting ads banned, getting ad account banned, getting ads account restricted, getting profile restricted. These are all normal things. And should I say it can be very intimidating, especially for new advertisers. Very excited, getting everything up and running. The boom, gonna reflect. Right, I understand totally. That's why you know it's very important for new Facebook advertisers to understand that you will hit this roadblock, one way or another, sooner or later. So you just have to be prepared for it. Okay, thanks for chipping in. And over here, I have a couple of questions from my audience, and I think it's pretty cool to kind of like go over them real quick. And this is a comment from Hafiz. Okay, he commented on my video about the differences between personal TikTok ad account and a TikTok business center. In fact, when you want to start running ads on TikTok, there are two ways to go in. One is you go to ads.tiktok.com, and eventually you can quickly create an ad account to run ads on TikTok, and it's more like a personal TikTok ad account. And if you go to Business Center, which is you can go to like business.tiktok.com, then you're able to create something very similar to Facebook Business Manager. And inside there, you can create multiple TikTok ad account, and you can actually manage multiple TikTok account and stuff like that. So yeah, basically, Business Center is very similar to Facebook ads, Facebook Business Manager. You can actually work with your clients as an external party. So, excuse me, Hafi's question is how to manage USA clients account in Business Center. Actually, it's very simple. Okay, step one, get your USA client to set up a business center. And just go to business.tiktok.com, slap a business center, and create an ad account within business center. And then after that, right? Wait, I'm just gonna go in. So here, this is a business center. Just tell them to go to business.tiktok.com. This is the business center, and I'm entering my business center. So once you enter your business center, then you can see on the left hand side, you have your members, you have partners. Okay, so this is Business Center. If you are familiar with it, it's very similar to Facebook, what we call Facebook Business Manager. So go under partners, all right? Then you can actually add partner. So when you say add partner means you want to work with another business center as a partner. So you just need to enter the partner ID. So you probably want to do this together with your client via Zoom, all right? So you get your client to share their screen, see this thing, and then you just get them to enter your business ID. Like if I want to get access, you have to give me access. So I want you to insert my business ID, which is you are as an agency. And of course, once you insert your ID, then the next step is you are able to kind of like assign the ad account over to you and stuff like that. So you will be with that, you'll be able to manage a US ad account, even if you are from Malaysia, something like that. Actually, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah. So this is how you do it. And I say I would strongly recommend to go for business center because you can do so much more things over there. So that's for Hafiz. All right. So the next one is actually Kaylee. Kaylee is asking, I mean, this is the video, all right, about Facebook ODEX, a video that I posted yesterday. It's actually my training that I did with my Jason Nation members a couple of months back to talk about I mean, everything about the new Facebook ads objective, which is ODEX. So you can actually go over and search for this video. It's the latest one. Now, Kaylee commented in the video, I mean, under the video, and asked about how to help with Facebook identity problem. So I asked whether is it because of the account ban and identity submission. And she said, yes, have tried and keep getting error message saying that you can't use feature, try again later, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there are steps, right? The first step here is whenever you have this issue, you need to go to the root to find the error message about why is it, what is happening right now. And if you're facing this first time, usually it's about identity confirmation. So once you submit your ID or your passport or your driving license, it takes a while for the review to complete. So you have to come back and check. So once you come back in and say that the review is completed, then you can request review for the next step, which is to, to get your ad account released or to get your profile released step by step. You can't rush into things in this thing. And Facebook now, they are doing this in massive volume right now. They're doing this to almost everyone. That's why they have a lot of issues to tackle. They face a lot of, you know what, my video about ad account permanently banned is actually the top performing video. It made me a few $100s already. I mean, and in ad revenue. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this is a happy thing or not, but obviously a lot of people are facing the same problem. So just have to wait and follow the steps. Okay. But like I said, if you need help, you need further help, you can always sign up for my one-on-one audit over here, and then we can actually look at where you're at. And based on my experience, I will tell you that, oh, okay, so this is really the issue right now, or you probably should click this button to go into the next step and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I hope I'm able to help you in a more different way over here. So yeah, sometimes like I say, by reading this, if you look at this, if I'm just commenting back and forth like this, right? How do I know? How am I supposed to like help you in a more effective way? Like I won't be able to share screen, or I won't be able to look into your screen. I mean, you share screen with me. So all these things can't happen. So that's why I don't really like to do all this back and forth commenting on YouTube or Facebook. Yeah. So okay. So that's about that. And let's take this down. All right. So I have a few comments coming in. I think this is Chiwa. Chiwa is saying first violation. Creating a mouse cursor on a button. Reason is implying a false click for users. Oh, that's a cool one. Where was that? Where was that? Where was that? I mean, nowadays I have not seen this for a long time. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a flag, for sure. Because yeah, misleading stuff, right? Okay, and I think, okay, so your ex-colleague even told you not to spend too much in a new ad account because they're having a threshold for a period of time. You have to break the period, only can boost up your spend. In fact, new ad account, they are always like spending cap, meaning first thing first, the credit card will get charged more frequent because it's an ad account. They probably will charge you every $20 or so, and you need to gradually build your credibility. Then they will be able to, they will give you like a bigger threshold, like they'll probably charge you every 5,000 you spend, or even like maybe 1,000, or sometimes even 10,000. Then they will charge your credit card. Else, if you're new and you're spending big, and you will get annoyed by, like let's say if you're new and you spend 100, that means if your charging threshold is $20, then you probably will get charged 5 times a day. And then your bank will actually block your card and say that, oh, this is kind of like very suspicious, and all things that happen. So you're right. You need to gradually build. In fact, a lot of things takes time to build. And when it comes to the connection that you have with Facebook, also takes time to build. So I would say, be patient. Be patient. Good things will come. Right? And CY said that is correct. Your ad account, you need to warm up ad account first. Okay, then only you can start spending a little bit more. Okay, so for the starters, the ad account is linked to company. You get notification of charges of it. 30 bucks, 20 or 30 bucks. Yeah, so it happens. So I mean, that's why I actually positioned this very episode as, start Facebook advertising right for especially newbies. So if you're new, if you need help, I've got courses. I will leave the link in the description. And if you need one-on-one help, I have coaching sessions. I have my coaching programs that I can work with you one-on-one to build and guide you. I mean, to guide you to build your campaign, of course. And of course, if you want to have a real quick one-on-one with me, then you can actually go over to Fiverr, use the $10 offer, okay, to talk to me, and we can together look into either your campaign performance or any issues that you're facing right now. And yeah, I mean, not to forget, I have my Jason Nation, which is my good members. Like we have Chiwai there, we have Bob is also my Jason Nation members, and as Jason Nation members, you get one session or one-on-one with me every month, and free training, and among other perks. So it's pretty cool. And oh yeah, weekly session as well dissect other people's campaign, everybody's campaign. So the learning is very fun. So for those who are interested to join Jason Nation, drop me a message. All right, I'll guide you on how to do this. And should I say it's funny because the bosses say it can build like 2K or not? Can. It takes time, right? Like we will tell the client, can. Okay, 2 months later, maybe then everything will be fine. And for now, you just have to live with it. Yeah, so that's the thing about it. All right. Okay, so that wraps this session. Okay, I'm having fun. I have fun. I hope you do. So if you like this, then remember to like and subscribe. And moving forward in August, I'm gonna do a lot more activities on my YouTube channel because for the remaining months of the year in 2022, our focus is gonna be very much on YouTube right now, and probably we'll do a lot more free trainings on what we call on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and invite your friends to subscribe. I think something. I mean, expect something very exciting to happen in in my YouTube channel moving forward. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, what's up? Okay, Renzo, what's up? All right, so thanks for coming in. So just watch the. What's your next innovative campaign? My next innovative campaign. What do you mean? You mean my things to come? I don't know. Like I have a few things that I am going to do. So just watch the space. Just make sure you focus. You actually like first, if you are subscribed to my email, make sure you do not unsubscribe yourself. And second thing is subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of things is coming into my YouTube channel. Right? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, even if you're watching the replay. And yep, I'll see you next Sunday, same time at 10 p.m. Ask Me Anything Sunday. And with that, let's wrap this. And good night, everyone. See you next week. Bye bye.